What's up, family? My name is Jimmie Scott Jr., and I just want to thank you guys for tuning in and watching the video. In the video, me and my wife, we are talking just about different various topics on life, desires, about God. We always have these conversations from time to time, and we always wonder why we haven't gotten a lot of these things on video. And so she secretly recorded me while I was talking this one time and while we were having conversation. So in this video that you're about to watch, it's just us having good conversation about God, about desires, about what the Bible says. A couple scriptures are thrown in there, and this is just how we normally talk. So I pray that what you're about to watch and listen, blesses you, that you find some encouragement from it, some wisdom and knowledge from it, and that you hear the Lord from it. I pray that whatever it is that God puts on your heart after this, that He continues to bless you. So I hope you enjoy the video. If God takes your desire of smoking away, you can't think about it. Like if you desire to be with your daddy, but then 2 months later you think back, you're like, I ain't even thought about my dad. But that means your desire was gone for 2 months. Like you didn't have a desire anymore to be with your dad for at least 2 months. Only the Lord can do that. You can't force yourself to not have a desire. Just like you try to force yourself not to be with me, but you desire to be with me. Only the Lord can take that away. You can try all day. I ain't gonna be with him. Lord don't care nothing about that. Lord said you can have a desire in your heart to be with him, and I'm not going to take that away because that's my will. That's why the Lord do what he do, because it's his will. We think we got a choice over what the Lord's will is. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. We say it all the time. Folk don't think about it though. They just say it. Have value in my life. I just want to be a part of his will. Come to realize the Lord's going to do what the Lord's going to do. And you ain't gonna stop it. Ain't nobody gonna stop it. I think about that at work. If I ain't HR no more, the Lord just gonna pick somebody else. If they don't want to do it, he's just gonna pick somebody else. The Bible even say that he make the rock cry out. If you don't want to worship him, bam, make the rock sing. He don't need you. His will be done. If the Lord said worship me, you like, no, the road just started singing. You like, what's that noise? Oh, that's the road. I mean, it might not be literal like that in a sense like that, It might be some more of the lines of, oh, wow, listen to the trees. And be like, what you mean? You don't hear the noise that the wind is making from the trees? They singing. Or listen to the birds in their song. That's why people like, birds sing. Maybe it's not like humans singing, but it's singing. That's probably where all these preachers get these sayings about you running from your call. I've been tested.
Yeah.
To see if you gonna run anyway. Some people just don't run. Well, be like, run. They be walking.
I was sprinting.
Run. I need you to run to Miami.
I was done. You don't gotta tell me again.
Tell your mama, all right, I'm gonna be going to Miami in about 2 months once I get all this together, and then I gotta go down here. And the Lord be like, run. You be like, okay, I'm going, but let me do this, and I'm gonna walk a little bit first, and then we're gonna get together and all that.
Yeah, no, I was not like, I knew I was done. I was not taking no for an answer. Me and my mom was going back and forth. I had already had in my head, I'm gonna drop him, put his stuff on the porch and leave him and just pull off and leave. Like I was thinking, I'm like, she's gonna probably disown me. She's gonna say this, say that. I'm gonna be all types of bad parents. At that point, I didn't care. I never thought about it like being a test to see if I was gonna go. So in this video, I'm basically giving my testimony on my story and what I did when the Lord told me to move. I ended up going to Miami for a couple months. Basically in this video, I'm explaining that process. I just wanted to insert this video just to add that throughout my story or throughout this process, I did use some wisdom. So I did use wisdom throughout this process. So I did drop my son off to my mom. I did. But it also was the summertime. So I also had 2 months to be able to move and get some things situated, I had his bags all packed. So I went to the store. I made sure he had new underclothes and brand new summer clothes. Previously, I had already went to Miami like a week before, and I had already had job interviews set up. I seen that there was a high demand for dental assistant jobs. So I had already had a whole lot of interviews set up for me when I returned back. I had already been researching apartments and everything and places for me and my kids to live once I got there. I basically just wanted to make a video to let you guys know that I wasn't a hothead and just felt like I just was going to leave my kids and just go. I actually used the wisdom that the Lord has given me before making these decisions and making these choices. Basically, all I'm saying is use wisdom before jumping out and doing these crazy things.
Once you make up your mind and you decide to do so, then you gotta do it. You gotta say move, you gotta move.
What happens when you don't?
Well, they got examples of that in the Bible too. When you don't move, when the Lord say move. It's called Jonah. All kind of bad stuff started happening. Get on the boat and storm and throw you off and get eaten up and all kind of stuff. Some folk, they chose, they just walking instead of running. They gonna do it, but they doing it on their time, not the Lord's time. And some folk, you got moving too fast and not waiting on the Lord, because they might be a little confused about what the Lord say and what they say.
I feel like I was at that point like before, like moving maybe a little bit too fast. Yeah. It's like I knew, it's like I knew something was for me, but I was trying to take it before it was time for me to have it. It hurt being told no also. Like, I felt like I was told no, like, and I just broke down.
That's how I felt about money. I felt like I was prepared to be a good steward over $1 million a long time ago, but yet I find myself still with like a little bit of money when I was in college, and I'm like, man, I'm still surviving. Like, have I not survived enough to show the Lord that I know how to take care and maximize $200? And then every time, I would pray just for an increase financially. I never got it. But just because you think you're ready, you still might not be. And that's when I realized blessings flow from the Lord with one thing that I wasn't doing until I made it a priority in my life, and that's giving. The Lord really opened my eyes about giving with money, and the way that we're taught about how to be a good steward over money, on how we're taught, is to have it and save it for ourselves instead of investing for the future. The Bible got examples about investing, about the man and the owner, how he left and he gave a quarter, this many amount of silver to this servant, this many amount to this servant, this many amount to this servant, and one of the servants, all he did, so make sure he didn't lose the master's money, and he just went and hid it. Everybody else invested and made double. If all you're gonna do is hide, I would have just gave yours to some of the other servants, man that sold 12. If all you're gonna do is just hide it. Investing, saving, and then also giving. The Lord also told the rich man who had money, who probably invested a lot of his money, the rich man, okay, what else I need to do? Give it all away. You didn't invest it like the Bible said. Then Jesus come along, give it all away then. Can you work so hard for it to have it, and then I bless you with it? Can you give it all away? That don't logically make sense to a lot of us, because we work hard for the money. God blesses us to have the money, and God tells us to give the money. That don't make sense logically to a human. I work hard to build a house. The Lord blessed me to finish the house, and then the Lord come up and tell me let somebody else live in it. It don't make logical sense. That's why the rich man walked, and the Bible say, and people forget this part, he walked away sad. And my pastor said that when I was in college, ain't too many instances when people came in contact with Jesus that they walked away sad. That's one of them, though. I could imagine how that feels. I couldn't imagine how that felt. And when he said it, when he broke it down like that, I was like, man, boy, Jesus must really, he broke it, boy, shoot. And the Bible talked no more about that man. We don't know nothing else about that story. That's a sad story. He met Jesus. Jesus gave him a word and told him what to do. He walked away sad. And it's my belief he was sad because he just knew that he didn't have a desire to do that. he was sad after he heard it. And I'm like, he probably just knew deep down that was going to take everything in him to do it if he really wanted to go to heaven. Boy, that's a conflict with him spiritually, because the Lord gave you what to do. You either going to do it or you ain't. Make me sad too. You want to give him to heaven, give everything you own away. Lord, shoot. Make me sad, boys. You're like, I love you, Lord. I do. But then this, but then the Lord, but then this, but then Jesus. But not me, though. I had made my choice long ago. I gave my life to Jesus. They don't know. I don't know if the rich man did it. That's probably why the Bible tells us too, it's harder for rich folk that love, to get into heaven. Like a camel going through the eye of a needle is what the Bible say. I don't see that happening ever. I mean, I ain't saying it ain't possible, but the day I see a camel go through a needle, boy, that'd be something, boy. That'd be a miracle right there. But I can tell everybody, ain't nobody gonna believe me, and that's gonna be the funny part. I'm gonna be talking to the Lord. Lord, I went and told them I saw a camel go through a needle. Boy, she couldn't believe it. That's funny, ain't it, Jesus? He was like, I need you to go tell your daddy. He ain't gonna believe me. Everybody I tell, Lord, ain't none of them gonna believe it. Oh, that's the joke. That's the joke. We're gonna start passing that story along like it's a story. I'm like, no, for real. Y'all keep calling it a story. That's not a story. It's just gonna sound like a story. And the Lord be like, pass that story along. They end up putting stuff like that in the Bible. Folk be thinking, there's some great stories, but metaphorically, no. I don't believe a lot of that stuff is metaphorical. I believe Jesus healed folk. And they probably paralyzed their whole life, and he healed them, and they got them walk. That ain't I don't believe that's metaphorical. Yeah, I probably do, because a story, but that's probably the joke. God, like, I'm going to do this, and ain't nobody going to believe it. But for the ones who believe in me, going to believe it.
Yes.
That's probably the joke.
You remember when we first got together, and I would be telling you, I used to be so iffy about telling you things.
Yeah, because you thought I was crazy or something.
No,
or you don't think I'm crazy.
Yeah, I used to be like, this man is gonna think I'm crazy.
This.
Like, oh my gosh, like he gonna think I'm crazy, but this really happened. People thinking I'm crazy. They can think I'm crazy all they want.
I just laugh at it because I know what the Lord say.
Yes.
Ain't too much worried about nothing else. Because the Lord ain't telling me to care about it too much.
Right.
All he told me to do is see it. I just find a lot of comfort that I ain't the only one. There's a whole bunch of folk in the Bible. A whole bunch of folks in the Bible. A whole bunch of examples that the Lord showed me. You're not the only one. I still can't get over a prophet marrying a prostitute.
You always bring that story up.
It probably don't make no sense why he would do it to a lot of people. I relate it to today. It's just like a preacher would just go and get somebody off the street. That's what Hosea did. That's pretty much what he did. And she was still doing what she was doing, though. It ain't like she had stopped. They had kids together, and she was still doing what she was doing. And then he named his kids. The Lord gave him the names of the kids to mean what the Lord was, how the Lord felt towards Israel. I thought about that when I thought about all these rappers and stuff. I think
crazy baby names.
Sky Blue and all that. Because I thought it's just a name that they made up. I never started to think it might be a name that they can't explain that come from God. You never know. It might sound weird to us because it's a blue, name Blue. It might be from the Lord. I never stopped to think about it. I just used to think, oh man, why would you name your child Sky or Blue or Red, Orange? We would stop and think why. But like I said, after some more thought, I started thinking about what the Lord might be doing. I don't think I've ever seen a video. It might be one out there. I just never seen a video of them explaining why they named their child this or that.